Hey guys, Brian Karp, sales giant here for week 9 of the Karp Chronicles. I am actually in the boys' playroom today, so I'm at Brody's desk. I'm kind of squeezed into the corner, so I'll do my best to get through this so can give you guys all the information happening in Long Island real estate, Long Island investment, Long Island, anything to do with real estate. I'm going to ask you, if you guys enjoy this content, to please subscribe, comment, share this show. This is 9 weeks in a row that I've done it. I'm going to do it the entire year. So last week was exhausting. It was a great week, super busy, but I traveled to Tennessee on Monday morning super early, and I went there because I own a 51 unit apartment complex and I'm in contract buying another 36 unit. So I called it the Tennessee field trip. It was fabulous. We landed in Nashville probably around 8:30. We drove straight through with one stop to Dyersburg, where my 51 unit is, but we actually looked at this brand new complex called the Troy Apartments that I'm purchasing with my partner Anthony and our syndication. So went through that, kind of did our due diligence, like beautiful. I got a ton of videos. You guys got to check it out. They're all 2-bedroom, 1 full, 1 half bath units. They're like big brick buildings with 4 units, 2 downstairs, 2 upstairs. The upstairs units have fireplaces, vaulted ceilings. The downstairs have French doors, like fabulous. We're buying it for $50,000 a unit. It does need about $700,000, but just a fabulous deal. Like, this thing's going to be cash flowing from day one. It's 96% occupied. So as soon as we start going in there, cleaning up, raising rents, it's going to be spitting cash. I'm actually fundraising for that right now, so I'm excited about that. And then after visiting that, we went to look at our current asset to make sure everything was going well. And it's cool because I have 2 in the same neighborhood or the same town or county. So I'm able to see what I'm renting over here for and then know what I'm purchasing is going to be able to give me here. That's the way you got to do it. Like, you have to become an inside player and you have to go super deep on one market. And it's funny because one of the guys that came with on the field trip was like, Brian, what do you think about industrial? What do you think about strip centers? And I was like, nope. I'm like, this is literally, I'm the horse in the city with the blinders on. Then we went to dinner with our property management team and just spoke about some different, things that we're planning in the future to do together. And then we drove to Dixon. So Dixon is like 50 minutes from Nashville, fabulous area. And I got an accepted offer on a 44 unit. So we'll see if we purchase it. It's got a little water issue. It's got 44 units that are online. I'll drop videos in like the next week or 2 on it. And then it's got another 12 that are gutted. So the value add would be getting the 44 cleaned up and raising rents, and then getting the other 12 online. And then in the Long Island real estate front, I have a brand new property in Islandia hitting the market probably in about 2 weeks, maybe 10 days. It's funny because Islandia is centralized slip school district. But it's funny because Islandia trades at such a high value. But I remember, because now I'm selling residential real estate for almost 2 decades. I remember when every other house in Islandia was a foreclosure. And then you've just seen people go in there and fix up these houses, and the values over there, on the high end of Islandia, you could see some of these, they're like farm ranches. Somehow they stick 5 bedrooms in them, but they trade like $650. It's crazy. So the one I have on the market's really clean, really nice, just not super duper updated. Gonna list at $550. Where can you get a beautiful house right off the Long Island Expressway for $550? So very excited about that. I did close a property in Lindenhurst, in the incorporated village of Lindenhurst. I'm going to give all of you guys a tip. The village of Lindenhurst, the village of Patchogue, Lake Grove doesn't do this yet, but other villages I'm sure are going to. As soon as you put a property online, they look at all the pictures, and if you have something that is physically there, then they look at your COs or your CEU, which is a certificate of existing use. And if there's something that's not there, they actually put a violation on your house. So I actually sold this house, and it has a huge back deck, and there was no violations put on the house. So I first gave the seller a heads up that they do this, and then we didn't use any photos facing the back deck. And we actually even had our photographer remove a portion of the deck just so no one could ever see it. And then we let all the buyers and all the brokers know. And it worked. So sorry, Village of Lindenhurst, it's just not the right thing to do. If you did it to everybody, I would be okay with it. But you guys are just picking and choosing people who are trying to sell their houses. And it ends up messing up the whole sale when you put a violation. So listen, if you guys went to every single door and made it mandatory, I can respect that. But for you just to pick on people is, I have to advise my clients how to circumvent that situation. Judge me yes or judge me no. Then I have a house in Hauppauge that was supposed to close. Literally, the attorney was walking into the closing. 45 minutes before the closing, the title company reaches out and says, we can't close. They adjourn the closing, right? The word's adjourn. That's like a big fancy real estate word, basically meaning saying that they stopped the closing or postponed the closing. And what ended up happening is there was a title issue. So another estate and wills attorney prior to the closing, and this is like a day or two before, they took the ownership of the house and moved it to a trust. And so the title company felt uncomfortable closing, even though the seller signed all the documents and he's the signer on the trust. They had to wait for it to get recorded. So it's been a whole cluster, but hopefully, and it's got like this chain reaction, right? Because the person selling the Hauppauge house was buying a beautiful condo. The people who own the condo needed somewhere were buying something else. The person who was buying the Hauppauge house has an interest rate. So it's amazing how like one little misstep by someone who really wasn't even involved in the deal because it was someone who was doing the estate work. They actually shouldn't even have transferred it. Messed up so many different people's lives. So hopefully this week it will all get settled. I guess we'll see what happens. Very excited. I dropped a video with me and Brock. But the 4-family that we purchased here in New York for the Karp family portfolio, we took it with 4 people living in it. It's really the only way to buy multifamily real estate. You're not going to get it vacant. Maybe a 2-family you can, but not a 4 or 5 or even a 3. So we have half the building empty as of March 1, which is huge win. And then March 15th, I have the 3rd tenant. So we're going to hopefully get there this week, come up with a game plan, see what the renovation cost is going to be, start cleaning up these units, turning these units. And then I got my non-for-profit who is very excited. If I can get them some units for April or May, would be a home run. Really would be unbelievable. Jess is texting me, need anything from Target? I do not need anything from Target. Maybe after this video I will. Then this week I have an amazing house in Lake Grove hitting the market in Brittany Hills. I've done a ton of business in Brittany Hills. One of my amazing agents lives in Brittany Hills. I want to say I've sold the most homes in Brittany Hills. Hitting the market this week. I'm actually going to run comps, but I believe it's going to go out for $800, completely done, colonial or split. So really excited to bring that to you guys. Also have a house in Nesconset, Smithtown Schools, 1.1 million. I'm telling you guys, this is the most insane Victorian I've ever seen. The architecture, the coffered ceilings, the vaulted ceilings, the woodwork, and every single one of you guys know this one. It's actually on Southern Boulevard, and it looks like a painted lady, which is these old Victorian houses, I want to say from California, and it's got beautiful woodwork outside. Like, you've seen it. I promise you've seen it, because I said to Jess, you won't believe it, and I showed her a picture, and she's like, I know that house. So that's hopefully hitting the market this week. It has like an accessory apartment, even though Smithtown doesn't allow you to have apartments. It does have a little apartment, like a 1-bedroom. So home run for anyone who has mom, dad, or needs some extra income. Just obviously, understand it's not legal. And then I have another house in Rocky Point that pictures just got done. And this one has an apartment. They have their father living there. All of the living space is CO'd. So they took the garage, converted it, and then they put a dormer on top of the garage. So it doesn't even cannibalize the house. But I guess it's something that we should really kind of unpack, that so many houses in Suffolk County have apartments in them now. And I think it's because Long Island's expensive. Long Island is definitely expensive. And then the last thing, I'm going to make it short because it's late and I'm stealing Brody's desk with all his, he's going to kill me, all of his Lego guys missing heads and stuff like that. And one of my favorite characters, the Incredible Hulk. The last thing is this week I have I'm meeting my cost segregation study company, and we're going to do a cost seg of my my 5 family in Sayville. And then we're also going to do a cost seg of my 2 family in St. James. And that should hopefully give me about $350,000 of depreciation. I'll also get a piece of depreciation from my apartment complex in Tennessee that I did with all of my partners. And that will hopefully allow me to pay very, very little in tax in 2024, because we're always a year behind. And we had an amazing year in selling houses and real estate. So just rocking and rolling for week 9. I'm really excited about it. Wanted to get this guys to you. Please give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, subscribe to the channel, share this. Any questions, anything I could do for you, reach out. But I'm trying to give you live market stuff. I guess a few other little housekeeping things. Open house in Center Reach. We had 30 people today in the open house, $500,000 house. On Saturday, we had another 20 people. So just see the velocity of the market right now. I'll see you next week.